welcome to 10 Talks. Today's conversation is with a champion coach. It's so exciting is that we are celebrating really this championship that he and his team have won. And most importantly, we get to be on the journey, hear his winning strategies, and celebrate with him. What a gift to be able in this time, this season that we are talking about how to go from impossible to possible. And we're going to get to hear the winning strategies for exactly how we're doing this. So welcome, such a gift to have you on our conversation. And first of all, congratulations, huge victory dance. Woohoo, well done.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Oh yeah, we want all the tea. We want to hear every bit of that celebration. Before we get into just the tea of everything that you've had the joy of coaching through, tell us the power of your story.
So my name is Ángel Perez. I'm from Puerto Rico, a small island in the Caribbean. Been a professional volleyball player for last 25 years. And for the last 2 years, I made the transition to coaching. And this is my third year as the head coach of Las Pinkin de Corozal, team that just won the professional volleyball league here in the island. So it's my first time coaching, my first journey, but I've been here through 2 years and a half. So it's been an amazing experience building this thing from zero, basically.
Yes, that is what's so incredible. And it's exciting to hear your journey from player to coach, because not everybody wants to do that or has the ability to really translate that into a championship. So tell us a bit about where you came from, your journey playing, and then we'll get into just the joy of coaching.
So I grew up here in the island. Volleyball was never a number one sport. I grew up playing basketball. Basically here in Puerto Rico, either you play basketball or baseball. And along the way, while I was in mid school, the professor of the school, who was the head coach of the volleyball team, asked me to come for the tryouts and try volleyball a little bit just to fill in the roster because he didn't have enough players. So I gave myself an opportunity and I went there. First year, I just went in because of my friends. Second year, I started gaining a little bit of love for the game. So around 14, I started being serious about it. And when I turned 17, I signed my first professional contract. And since 17 until 39, 38 and something, that basically the pandemic, this COVID pandemic made me retired. So, and that's that. Then I've been here coaching. So played 22 years for the national team. Been to 3 world championships, flown around the world. I've played in professional leagues everywhere from France, Spain, Italy, Germany, Austria, Slovenia. So it was a hell of a ride. I really enjoyed it. And I'm now transitioning on a new ride. And like you said, it hasn't been as easy as I thought. But the last 2-3 years of my career, I was already thinking of what would be the next step. So I think the last 3 years, I really was like a sponge with all the coaches that I had at that moment. I wish I would have known that when I was a little bit younger, but I think I got a lot of information from traveling around the world and listening to all these different cultures. And that's what's trying to guide me in this new journey. So
well,
basically
what a
that's
gift.
that.
Yeah, what a gift to be able to have that experience as a player. And so when you watch your film and really look back at your life as a player, how did you go from a volleyball player from impossible to I'm possible, from just kind of walking on the court as filling a roster to a pro career?
I think along the way, the first thing was to fall in love with the game. You know, I think that was the first situation for me, was to really find joy in just playing the game. At the beginning, I never thought like this would be a career for me. You know, I just saw it as a way of entertaining myself with my friends at 13, 14 years old. And along the way, things started moving on pretty quickly. Here in the island, we're a small island, so we don't have a lot of talent. So when you're a good talent, news gets around pretty fast. So people started calling, trying to help and do this kind of stuff. And then my parents kind of guide me through it, help me make the decision of, hey, listen, do you want to keep doing two sports, or do you really want to focus in one of them and try to make a pro career of it? And if you don't want to do any of that, it's okay, So in that time, I got that offer to play pro in volleyball, and I said I wanted to give it a try. And as soon as I walked in the first practice, I said, "This is it. This is what I want to do." And then from then on starts the difficult part. Once I figure out that that's what I wanted to do, it's like, how from here I can get to possible. How can I be just a fill out player to become an important player, to become to be a member of the national team, to represent your country in world championships. At the end of the day, that was the big goal, and all the work that went through it, I kind of had good role models along the way that showed me the way, and great coaches that helped me guide through it. And then it just became a matter of bettering myself every day, finding solutions, finding way to be better, finding what were my strengths and trying to work on them, really understanding what were my weaknesses technically, so I can make them a little bit better. At half of my career, I already knew I'm not going to get any stronger, any bigger, any faster. So I decided, okay, I need to work on my mind a little bit better now. So I decided to brought into my staff a sports psychologist. So I've been working with him for the last 12 years. That also made me make a bigger step and a bigger impact from half of my career on, from just becoming an average player to becoming a leader for others, to showing the way for the ones that showed me the way. And so it took a lot of sacrifices, but I think the main thing is finding that this is what you want to do. If it's volleyball, it's volleyball. If it's soccer, is soccer. If it's something other than sport, it's other than sport. But once you find that passion, there's not big sacrifice. That's how I see it. I'm willing to sacrifice anything because this is what I really love and this is what I really want to do. So I think it starts from there.
Yeah, it's all about the heart, right? Really aligning our hearts with our minds and our passion, and making the commitment to be better every day, and bringing in a support team, not trying to do it ourselves. I love that you've got a sports psych working with you, and just acknowledging that power of growing your body, your mind, your leadership abilities. And so as a player, you were set up for great success, and then you brought this into coaching. I have the honor of being the sports life coach for a couple of your players, and serving and supporting them. So have been on this journey, and all I hear about is how fabulous you are. So I was like, I got to meet this guy. He's amazing. And so it's just, like I said, I want to share with our team and our listeners really your winning strategies for coaching, because our world is in a place right now. You did it on the volleyball court, but our world is in a place where we want to go from impossible to possible. And we really want to find our passion and find our love and make commitments. It's not easy to do, even if we have that desire. And so how have you done it with your team?
Yeah, I've been lucky also. I've been lucky to have the players that I have. We've been building little by little. I have to say that the owner and myself, we've been involving in choosing the kind of players that we wanted, not just technically or tactically, but what they can bring to us as a team. So I think on the draft and this kind of selections, we did a pretty good job. So we were lucky to start. And then I think for me, it's the journey is just trying to be you. I think not trying to please anybody, just try to be as straightforward as you can be. Try to be a team player, try to be there, not just on the volleyball part, but it really in the human part. Because I think once you get that connection with your players will do anything for you. I think I put myself back when I was a player, and I think of all the play coaches I had in all the places I went, who were those coaches that really left a mark? Who were those coaches that like, man, this guy, he clicks something different, and I try to sit back and reflect on those situations and try to say, what did he did to me to make me want to play for him or to make me want to be better, you know? And I think at the end of the day, when I think about it, it's like these people really care for who you were, not just as an athlete, but who you were as a person. And when things went wrong outside of the court, they were really there for you. You know, you were not just a player for them. You know, you were more than a player. Even though that you were just a player, you were more than a player to this. And I think it starts from there, you know. Once you get this connection with your players, then everything is just starting to, once you plant the seed, you gotta, you know, put the water, put the vitamins and all this kind of stuff. And once you start seeing the bush grow, cut it a little bit, refix it. So that's what we try to do along the way. I try to, every time we get the first practice, I like to do something every year where I gave we have a board, a blackboard, and you go and write what you want. So I have the board divided in half. And so what you want to accomplish for yourself this year. And that's one part of our board. And the other part of the board is what we want to accomplish as a team this year. And every single one has to put in one side something and in the other side something. And we go through it. And most of the time, you're going to be amazed what players put in. You know, we sometimes don't do this often. And I think you will be amazed what players are thinking. Sometimes as coaches, we think that we know what they're thinking, but it's not really that way. And if you give them the opportunity to express themselves, then you have the power to hold them accountable for what they are expressing. If you don't let them do that, then there's no way I can hold you accountable for something I think that you think that way, you know? So for me, my philosophy has been that make them part of it, make them feel like this is really their team. I'm just here having fun along the way, you know, and trying to find solutions together, you know, trying to grow together as a group. You know, for me as a coach, from the first year to now, it's been growing like this. And I don't mean in success in terms of volleyball. Okay, we won a championship, but like I've told my players, and you know, for me, winning or losing, it's not about that, you know. And it's about getting better every day. It's about wanting to come to train. It's about that passion, you know, about staying motivated. And that, I think that's the key for what we did this year. You know, we found a way to every time come back to practice with more motivation, with more desire to get better. Even after we get a beat down, we came back and said, okay, what are we going to do now? What can we do better? What did we learn from yesterday? And I think we had a lot of struggles along the way, And through that, we maintain our poise, our love, our passion, our desire, our wanting to get better, our wanting to get motivated. I came to practice early. There were the players earlier than me, you know. And once you create this culture, you know it, everything is easy. Everything is easy. Winning comes along the way. It will eventually come. And I think that's been the recipe for success, you know, create a good ambience, a good atmosphere of positive feedback, of wanting to get back, of holding yourself accountable, of always looking ahead and not what's behind or what just happened. We can't do anything with that. We can do something with what's coming next. And I think that's it. Basically, that's been our key to success. And we've worked along the way through good, bad, not so good, and we try to stay focused in the middle line, trying to stay stable and not get emotional about it.
What have you learned from your failures?
A lot, you know, especially you learn a lot tactically, of course, you learn a lot technically, but you learn so much emotionally, you know, and how you grow as a group. A fun fact about our group is we ended up the regular season 9-7. So that's a normal record, you know, nothing amazing. But we lost 7 times. And after the 7 times, we won. So we never got beat twice in a row the whole year. So that was an interesting stuff for us because we knew that we had character in us. We just didn't hadn't gotten enough time to work it out. We had injuries. We were a new team. 4 of the 6 players that played were new players. So we needed time to build up. And the only way to build up and to grow, it's through failure. It's through going through it together. It's through going through, through the deepest, darkest corner and trying to find the light and go out together, and I think we hit rock bottom sometimes during the season. We had a couple of games where we get beat down, like we're like, uh-oh, what's going on, and but the good thing is, while we were getting beat down, we were still staying in the moment. We were still trying to find solutions along the way, even if we were getting beat. And that, at the end of the game, even though we got 3-0, made us better. And that's what success is about. Next day, we came to practice, and I didn't have to come motivated to tell them, oh, come on, what we did. That doesn't work. They came by themselves and say, okay, what we did wrong. What can we do? Are we going to work on that now? Okay, how can we do it better? Because we have a game in 2 days, and we need to come back. And that's been the key for us, learning from our failures, embracing our failures, knowing that failures is part of the process when you're trying to build something special, and that it's how you see the failures. Don't let failure decide your destiny. Know that you can go from failure to failure without losing any motivation, and at the end of the day, success is going to be there for you. So I think that was part of our key of how we handled failure.
Yes, that is beautiful. And what about, how did you anchor your team in knowing their why? How did you figure out your why? And then how did you hold it as just that anchor for you?
So like we spoke, at the beginning of the year, we sit down as a group, we find each other's why. Everybody has a why to individually wanting to get better in some kind of situation. It could be technically, it could be tactically, it could be physically, it could be mentally. It's open for anything. It's not just I want to get better at service. No, you can say I want to get better at keeping my mind mindful every single moment. So it's okay. And then we found a solution to what's the why of our club. And I think once you, like I said, once you put them to decide, why am I here, and why are we here? Why am I here, and why are we here? And once we decide that together, then you can hold them accountable for why are we here. But if you don't give them the opportunity to express themselves of what motivates me, why am I here, what am I doing here in this place? We have players from different countries. We have players from places in the island. We have players that it's like semi-pro, it's not full-time job. We have players that don't do anything else than this. So all these kind of situations, everybody has a different perspective of what they want to accomplish. And you need to give the opportunity to everybody equal and to express themselves and find a solution and a why together. And once you do that, you can hold them accountable together the whole year. And when they don't do, they feel bad themselves. Like, man, we let them down, we let ourselves down. And it's a matter of creating that situation where everybody knows why we're here, where are we going together, and then why also, in my individual standpoint, I want to be better at. So once you figure that out, then it's just punching it every single time, remembering every single time. Remember, don't lose focus of why we're here. Don't lose focus of where we're going and what we've been through. Let that be help us for the next situation we have. And these kind of situations, we build it along the way. So at the end of the year, like I said, like there was nothing that could rattle us. We have seen it all. We have been through the storm and back. So that was it.
So in terms of igniting the power of team, which you've done beautifully for that championship, and really just from the beginning, how have you really worked with athletes to transition from I to we, and to really own their power individually and connect it to the power of the team?
I think first, I think I was lucky, to live in so many countries and being able to play with so many different players from different countries, from different cultures, from different backgrounds, raised in different ways, that it gave me a better understanding of how everybody sees the world, and not everybody sees the things through my eyes or how I see them. And I don't have a problem that you see them different, as long as we're going to the same place together. If you want to go right, left, middle, down, up, it's okay. I'm trying to go in a straight line, but I'll meet you there. And I think that's how, as a group, we found a way to push it together and transition from, it's not all about me, it's about the group, and how are we going to put this group from here to the next step. And we had situations where it's a lot of players with big egos. When I was a player, I think I had big ego at the beginning of my career, where I couldn't understand some situations. Along the way, I matured and I said, man, why was I like that? But it happens. And you have to understand that. I had players that are 18 years old. I have players that are 39 years old. I have players that work from 8 to 5. And as long as we all find a purpose together, then the team goes over any individual purpose. It's like I said to them through the year, I repeated this. I said, okay, you want to grow individually. Of course, we all want to be the best player in the world. Of course, that's why you play. If not, why are you here to practice it? Okay, then go play recreational. If you play pro, it's because you want to be the best. That's it. But while you're doing your thing, trying to be the best, what else can you bring to the team for our team to be the best? Because I can assure you, if our team is the best, it's because you're being the best.
Right.
So that's the philosophy, we're trying to build. And so far, so good.
Yes. Well, take us through, in terms of our sports life coaching, what we do is call our life play, and then we have what's called 10 moments. And we do everything on a stats system of 1 to 10. 1 is low and 10 is fabulous. So certainly winning your championship was a huge 10 moment. So just as you think about your season, this season, with your teammates and as a coach, tell us about your 10 moments as a coach.
Well, definitely last game was a 10 moment, of course.
We want to hear all about it. The great part about 10s is we want all the details.
I want to start with another 10 moment. I want to leave that one for later. So I think our first 10 moment of the season was the draft, and as an organization, when we sat down and we chose these players, we went out of there saying, I think we have a chance to compete. And that we didn't have it years before. We were trying to build up to this. And this year, when we went out, we were like really, really happy with the players we got to choose to fill up the spots that we thought were not good enough the year before. So I think that was our first really 10 moment, really, really satisfying. We could take our setter, Ray Marielis, that ended up being the best setter of the league, and the MVP of the finals, was the captain of our group, an amazing leader. So we knew that. Because I knew the players before. So we took the middle blocker that would give us the experience to finish the series in the finals, and she was amazing. She didn't play the whole year, and then at the end of the year, she came on strong. So it was like we thought we had all these pieces, and that was our first 10 moment. So that was amazing.
So name your 10 moment.
So that 10 moment has to be the chosen one.
The chosen one. Woohoo.
Yes,
okay, well
yes.
done. All right, take us through the rest of your 10 moments.
Yes. So half season, we were struggling a little bit. And we had 3-4 days of training. Here, the league is a little bit weird with the calendar, so we get to play a lot of matches and we don't get to train a lot. So we play like Monday, Wednesday, Friday. So it's difficult to put a high intensity volume practice in between. So we had, for the first time in the year, we had like 4 or 5 days off, and we were coming from a really difficult period, like a 3-2 period. And we had this 4 or 5 amazing days of training, really amazing days of training, going into an important game. And I said, okay, let's see if this works out. It's going to be like this the rest of the year. Like I said, we're going to work like this no matter what. So even if it was Monday, Wednesday, Friday, days off, we're going to train like this. So we trained those 5 days and we went to play Caguas, the team we played in the finals, the champions for the last 6 years. You know, they've been unbeaten. They hadn't lost the whole season. We were coming from a really bad game, lost 0-3 to a team that didn't even make the playoffs. So it was a good opportunity for us, you know, and like I spoke, I remember before the game, I said, it's a good opportunity to recover our swagger, you know, to recover our swagger. That we need that back. We've lost it a little bit. So we went out and for 2.5 sets, we were perfect, like destroying Caguas. Boom, 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 boom. We ended up losing the third set, the fourth set, not so great. But we hold up and we came back in the fifth set and easy, 15-9. So when we come back to the locker room, as soon as I opened the door, that was my 10 moment. So that was my second 10 moment because we knew we had it. We just needed more time. You know, we knew we had it. We just needed a little bit more working, a little bit more failures. We needed a little bit more of that to even make us want it more. So I think that was my second 10 moment of the year. So
And what do you want to name it?
Door opening.
Okay, well done. I love being on the journey with you. Okay, your next 10 moment.
Our next 10 moment has to be that 6th game of the semifinals, where we closed out the semifinals against a really, really emotional team in Manatee that gave us trouble the whole year. It was a thing of matchups, and we matched up technically and tactically pretty good with them. And they were emotionally a team that when they were on, they were difficult. So when they were not on, it was easy for us, but when they were on, they became really, really difficult. So they had this up and downs. They were not stable, and they had really nice ups in the series and downs. And then the 6th closeout game came, and we almost lost it. We won the first 2 sets, lost the second 2, and the 5th, we ended up winning 15-13 on a last ball there, you know, crazy game. And as soon as that ball landed, that was my 10 moments. It's like a relief, you know, like, so that was my third 10 moment.
And what do you want to name it?
We made it.
We made it. Woohoo! Well done. Okay. All right. And our next 10 moment.
And the next 10 moment has to be that last game. So where everything came up, you know, like together, like all the sacrifice that you put in, all the work that you put in. Not you, you know, your whole team, the whole group, the players, the staff, the doctors, all the hours that we put into to try to give us a chance, because to try to give us a chance to be in a position to compete for a championship. It was an amazing journey. We arrived there at 5 p.m. and already the gym was full. The firefighters came to close the gym because it was sold out. The whole town came down, a big screen TV outside. So there was party inside, party outside. The heat and the humidity was like in the roof. So it was really, really warm and hot, like a really amazing atmosphere to play volleyball or any sport. So before the game, already that was a 10 moment. You know, when we started here 3 years ago, one of our goals was to put Corozal back in the map. You know, Pinkin de Corozal is the most respected club in the history of volleyball in the island. They've won 17 championships, and now with this one, the 18th championship.
So, on that one. Well done.
So we knew what we were putting, you know, here in our chests. We knew what that represented. And when we saw that gym that way, the day of the game, I think was an amazing experience for the players more than for me. I had it before as a player. These players had never had it. I'm 100% sure. And I think it was such a beautiful learning experience for them and for me now as a coach, that at the end of the day, it could have been win or lose. It couldn't have been wrong, you know? So I think that was the last 10 moment.
Oh, beautiful. What do you want to name it?
The cherry on top.
And how did you celebrate?
So how did I celebrate?
Well, just from your heart, right? I mean, as a coach, right? Celebrating is just so valuable. We work so intentional with so much, and it is strategic, and it is a celebration.
It is.
Just as a coach, all the pieces coming together, everything that you've been so intentional about. So how did you celebrate?
It is. I'm still celebrating, you know. I think sometimes I'm sitting on the couch and I'm like laughing by myself, you know, with a smirk in my face, and my wife or my daughters come around like, what are you laughing at? And I'm like, nah, I don't know. I don't know how we did it, you know. And like but I think I just embrace it, you know, and I've been humble about it. We've been humble through the whole process about it, and it's nothing better than celebrating with your players and with your family, the people that really sacrifice the most for you to be in this journey, you know, for you to try to accomplish this kind of epic things, you know, that you only dream about, you know. And I think our celebration was more about our group, our families, and then, like I told you, that little town in the middle of the island that they live and die for this sport. They're basically called the capital of volleyball in the island. When you enter the town, what you see, like, as welcome to Corozal, it's two volleyball players and it says capital of volleyball in Puerto Rico. So we knew what we were representing. And for us, it was about family, about the group, and then about this town. We didn't care about all the external noise, about anything else. We knew why we were there and what we were wanting to do. So that was our celebration. For me personally, a really amazing goal accomplished. A lot of hours without sleeping, putting pieces together. And my real championship is not winning, you know. My real championship is the way that the players express what they think about the journey they've been through with me. So I think, like, I speak to my players and my wife and my close ones, that's the real championship, you know. Winning, okay, yeah, it's amazing. Yeah, at the end of the day, you put that there and just to take dust, you know. And but this that we built together, this, it goes an eternity, you know. We can sit down at 75, hopefully I still have my mind and nothing goes wrong and I remember all this, and we can sit and say, yeah, remember what we did in 2022, man. And that's the real championship. When I didn't know, I knew you had players that work with you, you know. I've heard about you through the season, but of course I don't ask the players what you think about me, you know. That's I don't care, you know. I try to be me, like I told you, and if you like it, good. If you don't like it, then I don't know what can I say, you know. That's who I am. And to hear that from people from you, that the players think it was an amazing experience and a growing situation, and the way they expressed themselves in the press, the way they expressed themselves after the games, you know, this humble kind of seeing the game, you know, this, we spoke the same language, we were seeing these things the same way, you know. We were really in a journey, you know. We were really in a journey together, and nothing will rattle us, you know. It could be Kawas, the 10-time champion in a row. We don't care. We don't care. You know, we're here and we're going through it together. If we win, beautiful. If we don't, man, we're gonna come out of this so much better. So much better person, so much better player, so much better coach, you know, so much better wife, husband, parent, you know. So, and that's the real championship for us. And I think that was the meaning that we try to put across. And at the end of the day, the championship came also. So we're happy to have it.
Absolutely. Well, the work again that we focus on as we train really the whole person is to think about personal, professional, and philanthropic. And you've said it beautifully. Really, the I is the personal, the we is the professional, and the philanthropic is our community and our world, really how we come together. And as we're training people to be sports philanthropists and to be these champion givers, we talk about giving hope. And so who has given hope to you in your life?
Wow. A lot of people have given me hope. I gotta start with my family, my parents, my brothers, they were always that support group every single day, when I was still a young dude, nobody, trying to make myself around, I don't come from a family of sportsmen. We really love sports, but nobody ever did anything, so I wasn't here in the island. If you're patronized, sometimes it's easier for you to make it. So I had to really work hard for what we wanted to do. And I think the first was that close group. My dad, my mom, my two brothers pushed me, to try to be the best I can in everything I did. I remember my dad used to tell me, I don't care what you want to do. If you want to go on the street and clean the street, it's okay. I don't care, but you make sure you're gonna dot street when everybody comes, they can sit there and eat, so that kind of worked in my mind, as I was growing up, like this is the way to do it, I wanna be the best I can, this is what I want to accomplish. And then from there, my the guy that put me into volleyball, my coach, and he was also my teacher in the school. So he was my physical education teacher and also my volleyball coach as I was growing up. So he was the one that really planted the seed to tell me that, hey, you can do this, like this is a way, this is a path. And I think you have the qualities and all the things to arrive, at the end, it's on you, that I understand it early in my career, that everybody that you encounter along the way, they're facilitators. I don't know if that's a word.
Yeah, that works perfect.
And they facilitate, but the work is on you, they put 20% out there, but the other 80, it's gotta be you, they're not gonna be always there. They're not gonna be always pushing you. So it's the inside of you that has to give you that extra motor. But that was the second guy that gave me the hope to really try to pursue this as a professional career, And then I was lucky enough at a young age to get into the professional league. So I had a couple of older players that were superstars when I was starting. Had the honor and the fortune, to work with them when I was really young, and seeing the way they work and listening to them saying, hey man, you have some talent, you can, if you work this, if you do that, and I'm always, trying to, okay, yeah, well, still thinking, well, whatever, I'm 16, I'm just here having fun, let's have fun, I don't know how long this is gonna be, blah, 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 blah. But always at the back of my mind thinking, you never know. And I think those 2-3 players that were really role models that gave me that hope that, man, it's not that bad, I can make it. And last, I think the other one in terms of volleyball wise was our national team player coach. It was an Argentinian. He was not from Puerto Rico. And like I told you, if you were patronized here, it's easier. So this guy came from outside and with knowing nobody. So it was from zero. So it was just looking for talent. And that was my lucky chance. So he asked me, he called me to come for national team trainings, and I made the national team. And he said, hey, listen, I see some things in you and I want you to be the starter of the national team. And from there on, my career went through the roof. So I think that's the other, in terms of volleyball, who gave me hope. And now as I'm older, my hope is my family, I think that's what keeps me moving. That's what keeps me hoping and trying to be a better coach, a better parent, a better husband, a better friend, so it's always important to have that there to keep you through those failures and difficult times, to keep pushing and hoping always for the best at the end of the day.
Well, and just to be able to know that we can make a difference in people's lives, to your parents who said be the best that you can be, to the professor who noticed some talent and tapped you on the shoulder. I mean, I just really valuable for a shout out to all of those people in the world that they can be champion givers and to give hope, and just to hear that that small thing that you did makes such a big impact in somebody's life.
For sure, for sure. I think in every position that you are, and even if you're not in any position, you always have a opportunity to impact someone's life. Even from a good morning in the mornings, to opening the door to somebody that's coming on, to all these little details that you might think they will go unnoticed. Sometimes they don't.
That's right.
Maybe sometimes they don't tell you, but they will remember. Oh man, that guy told me a good morning, and I was having the worst morning in my life, and that at least brought a laugh out of my face. So I think it's important to go through life putting positive energy, and I'm a firm believer that karma and the world will, at the right moment, at the right time, when you never know, it will pay you back, and I think that's part of what we did in our journey and what we've been doing the last 2 years and a half, putting good energy, putting positive vibe, a good ambience where you want to come to work, where you feel respected, where you feel loved, where you feel admired, where you feel like you're growing together. And I think at the end of the day, that was the difference for us. We could make that change as a group and know that when we go out there, we also can make a change in our lives everywhere we go. So there's always an opportunity, always an opportunity.
So words of wisdom that you would like to give to every person out there going from their impossible to their possible.
To stay hungry, I think that was our motto this year, stay hungry for getting better, stay hungry for being motivated, stay hungry for searching what really moves you, what's your passion, what gets you going. And once you find that, go after it, go after it with everything you've got, put all the work into it, put all your energy into all your positive energy into it, and then learn that along the way failures will come, like we spoke about, but those failures are just part of the process, and it's not the failures, it's how you deal with them. And as long as you keep pushing through those failures, karma and the world, if you do the things the right way, will pay you. So I think that's it. Find your passion and push through it with love, with good energy, with positive vibes, and try to be different. I always try to think to be, we're like the salmon. I tell our players, we're always trying to swim against the current, because if you want to really make a difference, that's the way to do it. So I think for us, that's it. So for me, it's that. Keep pushing, find your passion, and make it with love, respect, and with no negative energy, because that at the end of the day will come back and hunt you.
So team, beautiful, right? Listening to just that champion journey is such a gift to us and really sets us up to be able to have the motivation, the inspiration, and to capture that desire to really go from impossible to I'm possible. So thank you so much for sharing your words of wisdom, your journey with us. It has been a total 10.
Thank you, Carlette, for this amazing opportunity. I really enjoyed it. Hopefully it's not the last. We can do some more, and maybe we could do one with the players. That would be something interesting that we could talk about our journey together. So
I would love that.
nice.
I'm going to hold you to it. Let's set that up for our
Yes.
next. I would love to unpack that with your players. So
That could be nice.
yeah, absolutely. Okay, team, to be continued. We're going to take them up on that offer. So thank you so much and appreciate you very much.
Thank you, Carlette. A pleasure is all mine.